You meet someone, they tell you their name clearly, you hear it, you even register it for a moment, and then within seconds, it's gone. Not later, not after a few minutes, almost immediately. But here's the strange part, you still remember everything else about them. You remember how they looked, how they spoke, what the conversation was about, sometimes even small details they mentioned, just not the name. And at some point, you start wondering if there's something wrong with your memory. There isn't. What's actually happening is that your brain is prioritizing information in a very specific way. When someone introduces themselves, your brain is not just listening to a name, it is doing several things at once. It is reading their facial expressions, interpreting their tone, trying to understand what kind of person they are, and at the same time thinking about how you should respond. That is already a heavy mental load. So when the name comes in, which is just a random sound with no meaning attached to it, your brain does not treat it as important enough to store. It moves on. This is why the name disappears so quickly, even though you technically heard it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. People who forget names easily are often not bad at remembering things. In many cases, they actually remember more than others, just not in the same way. They tend to remember how someone made them feel, the tone of the interaction, the small details in a conversation, or the general impression of a person. That's because their brain is focusing on meaning and patterns instead of labels. There is a well-known concept in psychology called the Baker-Baker paradox. If you are told that someone is a baker, you are much more likely to remember it because your brain can connect it to images and ideas like bread, kitchens, or routines. But if you are told that the person's name is Baker, you are more likely to forget it. It is the same word, but it is processed differently. One has meaning, the other does not. That is exactly how your brain treats most names. There is also another layer to this. If you tend to think a lot during conversations, your mind is not fully focused on what is being said in the moment. Part of your attention is already occupied with what you are going to say next, how you are coming across, or what the other person might be thinking. This reduces the space available in your working memory. And when your brain is overloaded, it drops the least meaningful piece of information first, which is usually the name. So it is not that you did not hear it. It is that your brain did not keep it. There is also a simple rule your memory follows. It remembers what it can connect. If something links to an image, a feeling, or something familiar, it stays. If it does not, it fades quickly. Most names are introduced too quickly and without any connection, so your brain treats them like background noise. Now here is the part that actually helps. If you want to remember names better, you do not need to try harder or focus more. You need to create a connection. When someone tells you their name, pause for a second and repeat it. Use it once in the conversation and attach it to something you notice about them, even if it is simple. That small step gives your brain something to hold on to. Once there's a connection, the name becomes much easier to remember. So the next time this happens, do not assume something is wrong with you. Your brain did exactly what it is designed to do. It kept what felt meaningful and let go of what did not.